The Silent Declaration. High Admiral Ilara Voss stood at the viewport of the orbital station Artemis, Earth's most advanced diplomatic outpost. The curved window offered a panoramic view of the gleaming blue planet below and the vast starfield beyond. She watched as the last of the Confederation diplomatic vessels departed, their engines flaring briefly before they vanished into the darkness. "They still don't understand what's happening," she said quietly. Her second-in-command, Commander Hiroshi Nakamura, approached with a data tablet in hand. "The economic projections are coming in, Admiral. The Confederation markets are already showing signs of instability." Ilara nodded, her silver-streaked dark hair reflecting the starlight. At 53, she had spent most of her career building bridges between humanity and the 17 alien civilizations that formed the Galactic Confederation. 20 years of smiling through condescension. 20 years of hearing how remarkably advanced humans were despite their youth. "Has the Director General responded?" she asked. "Not yet. The Tsari delegation is demanding an emergency session, though. Their ambassador is practically foaming at his breathing vents." Hiroshi's lips twitched with the ghost of a smile. Ilara turned from the viewport. The command center of Artemis hummed with controlled activity as officers monitored the unfolding situation across Confederation space. Screens displayed economic data, diplomatic channels, and tracking information for human vessels throughout the galaxy. "Show me the Centauri medical station," she ordered. A holographic display activated, showing a massive wheel-shaped space station orbiting Alpha Centauri V. The station served as the primary medical research facility for 3 sectors and was ostensibly a joint human confederation project. In reality, humans provided 90% of the research staff, maintenance crews, and innovation. On screen, alien medical personnel were rushing through corridors as warning lights flashed. Medical equipment was shutting down as human technicians calmly packed their belongings and boarded transport vessels. "They've operated those systems for 15 years and never bothered to learn how they work," Hiroshi observed. Ilara nodded. "Because we were always there to fix them." The station's comm system chimed. "Admiral, we have an incoming transmission from the Confederation High Council. Priority Alpha." "They noticed," Hiroshi murmured. "Put it through," Ilara ordered, straightening her midnight blue uniform. The holographic display shifted to show 5 alien faces, each representing one of the Confederation's founding species. At the center was High Counselor Xantrol of the Tsari, his plated exoskeleton glistening under the council chamber lights. "Admiral Voss," Xantrol began, mandibles clicking in agitation, "there appears to be a significant misunderstanding. Human personnel across Confederation space are abandoning their posts without authorization. Critical systems are failing. Explain this immediately." Ilara met his compound eyes steadily. "There is no misunderstanding, High Counselor. As per the declaration delivered to your office 12 hours ago, Earth has withdrawn from the Galactic Confederation, effective immediately. All human personnel, technology, and resources are returning to human space." The Morrigan representative, a willowy being with translucent skin revealing pulsing organs beneath, leaned forward. "Admiral, surely this is a negotiating tactic. The mercantile guilds have already approved 3 of your trade proposals." "This is not a negotiation," Ilara interrupted. "This is a notification. For 20 years, we have contributed to the Confederation. We have shared our medical advances, our engineering innovations, and our unique problem-solving capabilities. In return, we have been denied full membership status, restricted from Council decisions, and treated as suppliers rather than partners." The Vex representative, a massive reptilian with iridescent scales, hissed. "Your species is barely a century into interstellar travel. The Council protocols clearly state." "The protocols written by the founding members to ensure their continued dominance," Ilara finished for him. "Yes, we're familiar with them. We're also aware that human-designed antimatter containment systems power 80% of Confederation capital ships. that human-engineered medical nanites have extended lifespans across 17 species, that human agricultural techniques have ended food shortages on 32 worlds. She paused, letting the silence grow uncomfortable. You've mistaken our willingness to share for dependence on your approval. That was a critical error. The council chamber erupted in angry protests, but Ilara raised her hand, silencing them with the gesture. You have relied on human innovation without bothering to understand it, she continued. You've installed our technology throughout your worlds without learning to maintain it. You've benefited from our advancements while keeping us at arm's length. That arrangement has ended. The Nalthian counselor, a being composed of interlocking crystalline structures, spoke for the first time. What do you hope to gain from this display? Your economy is intertwined with ours. You cannot possibly. Our analysts project that the human economy will contract by approximately 18% over the next 6 months before stabilizing. Ilara replied coolly. The Confederation economy, however, will collapse within weeks without human support. Your medical systems will fail. Your power grids will become unstable. Your faster-than-light communications network, designed and maintained primarily by humans, will begin to degrade. She leaned closer to the transmission pickup. We don't want anything from you, counselor. We simply recognize that the current relationship is unsustainable. This is extortion. Tahantrol sputtered, his voice resonating with harmonics that expressed extreme distress. No, High Counselor. This is independence. Ilara nodded to her communications officer, who terminated the connection. Hiroshi looked at the main status board, where indicators were rapidly changing from green to yellow to red across Confederation's face. They really had no idea how much they depended on us, did they? Cognitive blindness, Ilara said. They couldn't see past their own assumptions about us. She turned to address the command center. Status report on Phase 2. A young officer with lieutenant's insignia responded promptly. Human research teams have withdrawn from 87% of Confederation facilities. Medical technology extraction is at 72%. Financial systems disengagement is complete. Ilara nodded. And our people? All human citizens have been notified. Evacuation is proceeding smoothly. No significant resistance reported from Confederation authorities. Before Ilara could respond, an urgent message flashed across her personal terminal. She read it quickly, her expression unchanged. Admiral, Hiroshi inquired. The Confederation has deployed military vessels to the Arcturus research station, she said. They're attempting to prevent our scientists from departing with their research. The command center fell silent. This was the moment everyone had anticipated and feared. Ilara's voice remained calm as she gave the order. Deploy the 7th Fleet to Arcturus. Standard defensive formation. No provocative actions. On the main screen, tactical displays showed human warships moving into position. Although fewer in number than Confederation vessels, human ships were more advanced. Another fact the Confederation had conveniently ignored. Message from the Arcturus station, the communications officer announced. The Confederation vessels are demanding that all research data and prototypes remain on station. They're claiming ownership under Confederation law. Ilara's expression hardened. Remind them that all human research was conducted under the Helsinki Centauri Accords, which explicitly recognize intellectual property rights of the creators regardless of location. She watched as the human fleet took position around the research station, their sleek hulls reflecting the light of the Arcturus star. They won't fire, Hiroshi said quietly. No, Ilara agreed. They need us too much to risk open conflict. They just haven't accepted it yet. Hours passed as the standoff continued. Reports flowed in from across Confederation space. Medical facilities struggling without human expertise, power systems becoming unstable, trade routes disrupted as human merchants withdrew. Finally, the message they'd been waiting for arrived. The Confederation vessels at Arcturus are standing down, the tactical officer announced. Our scientists are being allowed to depart with all research materials. A subtle wave of relief passed through the command center. Ilara nodded, allowing herself a small smile. "Admiral," Hiroshi said, "the High Council is requesting another meeting. They're offering revised terms for human participation in the Confederation." "Declined," Ilara replied. "Inform them that Earth will consider new relationships after a cooling-off period of not less than 1 standard year." She turned back to the viewport, watching as more human ships returned to Earth orbit. The gleaming blue planet below seemed more precious than ever. 20 years, she said softly. 20 years we spent trying to earn their respect. In the end, we had to walk away to get their attention. Across Confederation space, the silence of humanity's absence was becoming deafening. Systems failed. Markets crashed. And slowly, the realization dawned on 17 alien civilizations. They had never understood their human allies at all. The Awakening Alliance. 6 months after humanity's withdrawal from the Galactic Confederation, Dr. Mira Chen stood in her laboratory aboard the research vessel Prometheus, staring at the results of her latest experiment. The quantum entanglement stabilizer, her life's work, was showing promising results. Without Confederation restrictions on human research, progress had accelerated dramatically. "Dr. Chen," the ship's AI announced, "Director Okafor is requesting your presence in the communication center. Priority Alpha." Mira frowned. Adebayo Okafor was Earth's newly appointed Director of Interstellar Relations, the diplomatic body that had replaced the old Confederation embassy. A Priority Alpha call could only mean one thing: the Confederation wanted to talk. When she arrived at the communication center, Director Okafor was waiting, his tall frame silhouetted against the stars visible through the viewport. At 62, he retained the bearing of the military officer he had once been, though he now wore civilian attire. "Dr. Chen," he greeted her. "Thank you for coming. The Tseri Science Academy has requested your expertise on a matter of some urgency." Mira raised an eyebrow. "The same academy that rejected my research papers 3 times. Okafor's expression remained neutral, but his eyes held a glint of satisfaction. "The very same. It seems their quantum communication network is experiencing cascading failures. Without human maintenance teams, they've been unable to stabilize it, and now they want my help," Mira said flatly. "They're offering something in return." Okafor activated a holographic display showing a strange crystalline structure. "This is a Nalthian memory crystal. It contains the complete astronomical observations of the Nalthian people, 3 million years of stellar data." Mira's scientific curiosity immediately sparked. "That would revolutionize our understanding of galactic evolution." "Precisely. This is the first genuine exchange they've offered. Valuable knowledge for valuable knowledge." Okafor studied her reaction. "You're under no obligation to accept. Earth's policy remains clear. We engage only in equitable exchanges." Mira considered for a moment. "I'll speak with them. No promises beyond that." Minutes later, she faced the holographic image of senior researcher Ziv Tor of the Tseri Science Academy, his compound eyes unable to hide his desperation. "Dr. Chen," he began, mandibles clicking nervously, "we find ourselves in need of your particular expertise." "So I understand," Mira replied coolly. "Your quantum communication network is failing." "Yes. Without the human maintenance teams, we've been unable to prevent degradation of the entanglement matrices." He paused, clearly uncomfortable. "We may have underestimated the complexity of the system." "You definitely did," Mira agreed. "Those systems were designed to be maintained by human technicians because your people refused to allocate resources to learn the underlying principles." Ziv Tor's exoskeleton flushed a deeper blue, a sign of embarrassment among the Tsari. "The Academy has reconsidered its position on human quantum theory. In fact, we would like to propose a joint research initiative. Equal credit, equal access to results." Mira couldn't hide her surprise. "Equal credit. That's a significant change from your previous stance." "Recent events have adjusted our perspective," Ziv Tor admitted. The Confederation has lost approximately 62% of its advanced technological capacity since Earth's withdrawal. Many systems we took for granted are failing. Others are operating at reduced efficiency. And now you recognize the value of collaboration, Mira observed. We do. The Nalthian Conclave has authorized the transfer of their astronomical archives as a gesture of good faith. We hope this will be the beginning of a new relationship, one based on mutual respect. After the call ended, Mira turned to Director Okafor. They're desperate. Yes, he agreed, but also beginning to understand. This is happening across the Confederation. The Vex have offered access to their genetic libraries in exchange for human agricultural techniques. The Morrigan are seeking human assistance with their failing medical systems. Mira nodded thoughtfully. Not as conquerors or saviors, but as equals. Exactly. Elsewhere on the fringes of human space, Captain Darius Walker of the patrol vessel Sentinel monitored a different kind of encounter. His ship hovered at the edge of a debris field, the remains of a Confederation science outpost devastated by raiders from beyond Confederation space. Life signs, he asked his sensor operator. Faint readings from the central module, Lieutenant Kamala Sethi replied. Approximately 15 survivors, various species. Environmental systems are failing. Darius frowned. The outpost lay just beyond human territory. 6 months ago, Confederation defense vessels would have responded. Now, with their fleets stretched thin, many outlying posts were vulnerable. Any Confederation vessels responding? Negative, Captain. Nearest Confederation military vessel is 3 days out at maximum speed. Darius made his decision quickly. Begin rescue operations. Medical teams on standby. Within hours, the survivors were aboard the Sentinel, a mix of Tsari, Vex, and Morgan scientists, all showing signs of shock and trauma. The ship's medical officer, Dr. Elijah Washington, approached Darius outside the medical bay. They'll recover, he reported, though they're surprised to be rescued by humans. Did they say what happened? The tech happened. Elijah's expression was grim. Apparently, these raiders have been hitting isolated outposts for months. Without human ships patrolling these sectors, they'd grown bolder. The Ksek, a nomadic species known for their ruthlessness, had long been contained by joint human Confederation patrols, another collaboration that had ended with Earth's withdrawal. In the observation lounge, Darius found one of the rescued scientists, a female Vex named Telox. Despite her imposing reptilian appearance, she seemed subdued, her scales dulled from stress. My crew tells me you're the outpost director, Darius said, taking the seat across from her. Telox's vertical pupils focused on him. Yes, we were studying gravitational anomalies when the Kek attacked. Our defenses were inadequate. The Kek have been expanding their territory since the patrols stopped, Darius noted. Since humans stopped participating in them, Telox corrected with surprising candor. The Confederation Defense Forces lack your efficiency. She studied him for a moment. Why did you save us? Our peoples are no longer allies. We're not at war either, Darius replied simply. Humans don't abandon people in distress, regardless of politics. Telox's scales shifted color slightly, a sign of deep thought among the Vex. The Confederation Council never understood your species. They classified humans as technologically precocious, but culturally immature. They failed to see that your so-called immaturity was actually adaptability. Your willingness to help even former allies who treated you poorly. This is not weakness as many believed. No, Darius agreed. It isn't. 3 weeks later, aboard the Earth orbital station Artemis, Admiral Ilara Voss reviewed the reports from across what had once been Confederation space. The holographic display showed a galaxy in transformation. Refugee crisis on outer worlds. The Phoenix Initiative, a Vex engineer added, rising from the ashes of the Confederation toward something better. Ilara exchanged glances with Hiroshi. This was unexpected. A grassroots movement from within Confederation space, bypassing the entrenched political structures. Your proposal is intriguing, she acknowledged. But what of your governments? The Council. They will follow or become irrelevant. Thilavir replied simply. Already, local systems are adapting to work directly with humans. The old power structures are weakening daily. After the transmission ended, Ilara stood at the viewport, watching Earth rotate slowly below. Not what we expected, she mused. Better, Hiroshi suggested. They're coming to us as equals, not because we demanded it, but because they finally understand the value of true partnership. Ilara nodded, a slight smile forming. Prepare a response to the Phoenix Initiative. Tell them Earth is ready to discuss their proposal. As ships moved through the darkness of space, carrying the first wave of humans returning to work alongside alien colleagues, this time as acknowledged equals, a new era was beginning. The silent declaration had been heard at last, and the response was not the capitulation humanity had expected, but the awakening of genuine respect. Across the galaxy, the message spread. Humanity had walked away, and in that absence, their true value had finally been understood. Not as servants or junior partners, but as essential collaborators in the great project of galactic civilization.